And we're back, everybody. What's up? This music is way too loud. Holy crap! I'm turning it down. How's it going, everyone? I am hitting the red, but we have a mono bar that shows how high we're hitting the sound, and we're hitting the red. So I'm gonna kind of turn it down a little bit so I don't blast you guys' ear into outer space. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to Let's Relate, a show where I talk and you relate about anything and everything. Today we have our guest back. Guest, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Nick, and I'm back. And I thought I was a co-host on this, but I guess not.
What? You didn't kind of confirm. I have to put you down as a co-host. You have to fully sign the stuff.
Well, I am Nick, and I am at the moment a guest and I guess a pending co-host. So we'll see what happens with that.
We'll get him on the co-host. Everyone, yes. Don't worry. We'll
still working out my contract.
Yeah, we'll get him on. Don't worry. Nick is regular. We'll get him on.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? We're playing some Take Me On by this lo-fi rhythm. I don't know what the hell we're doing anymore. But we got some great stuff we're gonna talk about today. Especially the story about how I had a panic attack while I smoked weed. It was like the third time in my life. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's more to come. So, well, where should we start?
I really don't know. Let's talk about our coffee.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Nick, for that lovely idea. Let's take a sip, everyone. Yes. Wherever you are, if you're in the bed, listening in your car, take a sip with us. We got hot beverages this time. Woo! We're lucky people. Nick was generous enough to offer me his coffee maker at his home, and we made warm coffee this time. Right. Brought in thermoses, as we said we would last time.
Yes.
So let's take a sip.
All right.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh yeah.
This is Italian roast.
Yes.
With some really nice. For me, it's a lot of sugar and some cream, a little bit of cream. Yeah. What about you? What's your coffee you've tasted?
For me, this is milk and sugar. I mean, it's home, so yeah, just milk and sugar. If it was a coffee shop, I'd throw a shot in there as well, because after the milk and sugar, it just dilutes it too much, and I need that energy kick all the time. So yeah,
I feel you. So, speaking of coffee, I'll tell you guys what I did, and I'll tell Nick what I did because I haven't talked about it too much. But I took a coffee class this weekend. I went to Brockton, it's like a little bit down south, and I was like, I want to do this class, and it was like $2,200. And I had some in savings, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go take a class about coffee making." And
wait, $2,200?
Yeah.
Did you get a degree, a certificate, free coffee with this? What?
It's like an elective course at a college.
Oh, okay.
Like, so it's like.
Oh, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so it's like.
You didn't mention that part.
Oh, so I was.
That's kind of important.
I was gonna save it for the show, but it's called The Fine Etiquettes of Coffee.
No, but you gotta tell our audience that you just said $2,000 for a coffee class. I thought this was like a weekend thing. No, you're paying a school for this. That makes more sense.
Yeah. No, it was a high end course.
I like coffee, but damn, man,
it's not just one weekend course. Oh, okay, I have to go back. I didn't make that. I wanted to.
You really need to make that clear.
Well, I was gonna talk about it here because you seem really uninterested when we were talking about it at your house. So I was like, all right, I'm just. I
was a little preoccupied in the making of coffee.
Okay, that's fair. But I'll tell you all the information here. Well, letting all the viewers know too.
Yes.
So it's a multiple weekend course. I have to go next week Saturday because I can't make it Sunday because it's like an optional course. And then I think it's like 2 weekends after that in December. So it's like a 4-weekend course. It's really high price charging for coffee stuff, but this weekend we just learned about like different kinds of ways to make coffee. I made, as I explained to Nick, I made like 17 some cups of coffee. It was quite a lot. It was like enormous amount of coffee I made in one day. I didn't drink any of it. They teach you like how to tell like coffee roast by smell.
Yeah.
And then they teach you how to like tell coffee by taste, and if it's like fruity,
right,
or there's an earthiness to it, or what's a chocolatey.
Okay.
Got a burp, but it was interesting. It was interesting to like learn about all this crap, which I've never took interest in.
Yeah. So kind of like becoming like a coffee connoisseur, because they have people for wine.
Ish, but see, you've been more of a coffee guy than me.
I drink massive amounts of coffee. I don't think that makes me a coffee guy, really.
Well, no, but like but that makes you good, like a coffee judge, right? Like versus good versus bad coffee.
A coffee judge. I go to the same place daily. And COVID has made me have coffee from home, which I'll be honest, I don't like. It doesn't mean I'm not having it. But actually, that goes for most places. Like most like diner coffee, which I will always have. I almost never like.
Okay.
Most places I go to, I'll say like, I don't like this coffee. Continue, just drink it, and then have another cup.
Okay.
Because it is coffee.
Would you like to do like a monthly coffee taste test with me?
I mean, sure, we can definitely do that.
Well, I'll get so. At the place they showed me this website called Trade In, something like that. Trade.
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
Okay.
We're here. We have a computer up.
Yes, we do.
And Trade In. I think it's Trade In. Oh no, it's just Trade. It's just Trade. I think it's just called Trade.
Okay.
Trade Coffee. There it is.
Yes.
And so you take a quiz, right? So come here. So you come here. You take the quiz, and I'll step off the mic, and we'll have Nick take a quiz and see what kind of coffee is his flavor. So you go take the quiz. Go.
Is this literally like a what is it?
Just come around. It's fine. We're switching. No, just leave the mic there. Just use mine. Go for it.
Great.
I think she's gonna roll you on the chair. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we did not plan this out, as we don't plan out our podcast.
There you go, Nick.
So this was just kind of a debacle.
We'll switch back out.
Yeah,
it's fine.
We'll do something.
But let's have Nick take a coffee quiz.
Okay, let's see. All right. So, what is your coffee experience level?
Okay, read them out. Read them out.
All right. So we have: I'm pretty new to all this. I'm pretty advanced. I'm an intermediate stage. I'm a total coffee nerd. Well, I haven't taken a class like Devesh here, so.
I don't think that it makes me a coffee nerd too. I'm still in an intermediate stage, I would say.
Okay. I'd say I'd go intermediate as well, so we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
All right. How do I usually make coffee at home? So let's see.
Read out all the options, because there's crap ton. There's like pre-colorators.
Yeah. So we have coffee maker, French press, pour over, Chemex, AeroPress, percolator, cold brew espresso machine, mocha pot, and refillable pods. So I'll be honest, like, we have a French press at home, we have a coffee maker, like a regular one, but I actually go Keurig at home.
Okay.
Just because.
So that's an espresso machine?
Would it be?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's an espresso machine.
I need to get you a Chemex pot. Or I need to like show you how to do a pour over, because that's where the flavor is, my dude.
I mean, we have the French press. I should really start getting into using it, but I just don't have time in the morning like I should to treat my coffee, honestly.
It's just like coffee powder.
Yeah.
But like, since you're using French press, you don't have to make it so fine. True. Like we had the Italian coffee made, and it was like really fine powder.
Oh yeah.
But you can leave it like a little bit bigger crunches, so it can get like filtered out easy, and you don't get the powder in your mouth.
Yeah. So I think we'll classify our Keurig as an espresso machine. Go from there. Do you add anything to your coffee? Yes. I'm a milk and sugar kind of person.
Milk and cream?
Yeah, milk and cream, basically.
So there's milk and cream.
Or sugar sweetener.
Sweetener.
A mix of these choices is really the answer. Interestingly enough, like around this time of year, I definitely prefer eggnog in my coffee over milk and sugar. Which is always a good option.
But then there's flavored creamer or syrups, which is what you were describing, which is eggnog. And then there's non-dairy milk, which I don't know what that means. What is it, like you press synthetic milk? Like
like it says like almond or oat or soy milk.
It's like a vegan milk. I don't like to have milk from cows because I'm too vegan.
Yeah. I mean, I know personally I tend to find coffee a bit bitter, so like we talked about, like if when I like traveling like Europe, other places, coffee tends to be sweeter. So I have it black, which is always good.
I think everyone's getting an idea of how much I hate vegans.
Yeah, we're getting that. So I'm going to go with a mix of these choices.
Go for it. It's a mix of those choices.
Okay. We go to, what roast level do you typically enjoy? So light roast, dark roast, medium roast, or I defer to you.
Which is just asking the website.
Yeah. Let's see.
Taking a sip of this coffee. It's good. Warm is nice, man. Makes a difference from cold coffee. I'm a personally dark roast guy.
Yeah.
Just after tasting this weekend, and it helps with my acidity quite a bit. I don't get. So I have a really bad acid problem for people you don't know, and Nick knows about this because I've been mentioning it to him for last year. But it gets like it's really severe now because I like anything I eat and my stomach's like, all right, it's time to mass produce this acid stuff, and I get it like up my throat and I get it in my teeth, and my teeth are actually stained because it's like it's damaging my teeth. Like if you look at my tooth like back here on the sides, you can see that it's worn out because of the acid. So dark roast is for the people who like less acidic. But go make your choice, Nick.
I don't know. Like I usually end up with dark roast, but I'd say I'm pretty sure my shop usually has like their main blend is a medium roast, so I'm gonna go with that.
We're having a medium right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the medium roast.
Yes.
How do you like your coffee to taste? Classic and traditional, hints of something different, or surprising, unconventional? I think on the day-to-day, my coffee's pretty classic. I've got a few places. New Orleans, they have chicory coffee, which is actually really good. And we had a container of that back at the house, but we didn't go with it this time around. So.
Yeah. Which is next time we'll switch it up. Trust me, guys. We'll come back. Yeah. We're trying to be coffee fiends, and we usually do this segment every time now because we've decided. Just now, I've decided. Yeah. And we'll just do like a coffee segment.
I'd almost consider we should just bring the coffee maker into the studio.
Oh, if it was our studio, I would love it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a crappy Keurig outside, but I don't know how good that is. I would like to make the Chemex in here. Like we can make Chemex in here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I can leave my like water heater. In here, but that's fine.
Yeah. So we went with the classic. Traditional taste coffee. So
that's good.
So do you buy your ground coffee whole bean, coffee, or both? So for the most part, I go whole bean. I have a separate grinder I bought for it. Typically for college, I went there with a coffee maker and a grinder, and I annoyed the hell out of my roommate every morning making fresh coffee because I was up earlier than
roommate,
him.
You know, he sucks. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, he does. And there's stories for that later. So we're gonna go whole bean on this one. Whole bean.
By the way, fun fact for any people who don't know coffee that well, if you freshly ground your coffee, there's oils in the beans that add flavor to your coffee than already grounded ones because they dry out over time.
Yes.
But go for it. Next question.
All right. Next question is, what type of coffee do you drink? Regular or decaf? Now, I refuse to have decaf.
Yes, me too.
Probably isn't good because I will crave coffee like at 10 at night. And then proceed to either not drink it because I know I'm going to get caffeinated, or drink it and be up most of the night.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I'll drink it and just go to sleep after. So it varies. But I drink regular. I can't get over decaf.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. We have our result. Your coffee journey starts here.
Okay, so it's told you the coffee that you would probably like from the store.
Yes.
So what is it?
We have Wonder State Organic Driftless.
Oh.
Comforting and rich.
Now that's a good coffee.
Yeah, we're looking at about $10.33 with free shipping. Marked down from $14.75.
Now, this is a good store.
It's 12 ounces a bag, so not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It'll get you like 10, 20 cups, something like that. That's even exaggerating, like 15 cups if you're trying to make a solid, strong coffee.
So, like 2 weeks worth.
Yeah. Nothing like too excessively good, but
although like I will say I spent most of like my high school years going to a coffee shop, and I probably spent so on average about 2 coffees a day, because I would actually get up really early to go to the shop to enjoy my first coffee there and bring the other one with me on my drive to school.
Weren't you like a regular there now?
Oh yeah, half the staff
like knows you.
Did not know me, but they knew my order.
Yeah.
Which at a certain point had a bad effect about it.
Yeah.
Because I will say, I found one of the staff. I'm a little bit of a shy person.
Yeah.
But I found one of the staff members there really attractive. I want to say something. But he doesn't ask me anything because he's like the usual, and that's the stint of our conversation. Yeah. He won't ask me like what I want, or there's no real back and forth because he knows it's the same order. You
both seem like shy people.
Oh yeah, but it gets to the point like he just puts his hands on the large cup because I always get a large coffee, and just kind of looks at me and I give him a nod at times, and that's where it's gotten to. But because of code, I haven't been back in quite a while, so. But yeah,
that's good.
So that's my coffee this time around.
We can explore more if you want. If you want to go about the store. So all the coffees I took in the class was from the store. There's like a bajillion coffees, honestly. Well, there's not like a bajillion. Like there'll probably like 30, 40 coffee types in this here. But
Yeah.
I love this store just because it's super well organized and the coffee taste that comes out of these coffee beans just super well preserved.
Okay.
And so depending on how big the show gets, eventually I want to make this into a full-born segment, and each month we'll try different kinds of coffee. So we'll just get like a bag
Yeah.
each month, and we'll just have it like every day, and just tell our experience within like how was it in the first 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and our overall experience at the end of the month.
Well, you know me, man. I'm here for the podcast, but I'll definitely be here for the coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I like if we get proper guests, like big famous star guests, I want to do that into a segment and be like, so welcome in, come on in, and then we'll just have them try coffee and then see like what they think about it.
Oh yeah.
What their personal making like way is, because there's a bajillion different way apparently.
Oh yeah, definitely the way to go.
So next week I have an espresso class.
Yes.
And I will let you know what I learn, because apparently my teachers told me, my professors, like there is a lot of ways to make espresso, and it depends on the temperature of the coffee beans and stuff like that, and temperature of water. And I'm like, I already didn't understand any of the temperature stuff
Of course.
with the normal coffee making.
Yeah.
Like he was like, if you want to make a good Chemex coffee, which is like it's a pour over, but with like a different utensil.
Okay.
It's like a V cone on the top, and then usual kettle. And you put the cone filter in there, and you usually need like 100 to 120 degree water. Like it needs to be sort of boiling, but if you want to make it boiling, it's fine. Then wet the cone, like the filter cone.
Yes.
So preheat it. Then add your coffee beans and make sure they're nicely aligned. And then when you're done with your coffee, when you start pouring in, you have to do it in like a circular motion.
Of course.
And this is how you know did it right, is if once you're done making the coffee, there should be a precession or a hole, like a slighter dent in the middle of the coffee cone than around the edges.
Okay.
And that way you know that all the coffee was concentrated around the center, and it's all gone out the right way.
Truly gone to the point of like an art around coffee.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I want to get to that aesthetic just because it's fun.
I feel that, yeah, just having coffee. Now, I am a coffee person. I also enjoy tea. I know Devesh does too. I don't know why I don't have tea often enough.
You should, man. Well, tea is like a chill way. So if you want to really relax,
Yeah.
but it depends on what kind of tea when you have it.
Yes. I feel like I'm never in a relaxed enough state to have tea, though. Issue.
Isn't that explaining life? It's just always stressful.
Because, like, coffee's good in the morning, and I am fairly relaxed in the mornings, but, like, I need the wake up. I'm just not all there without coffee.
That's true, yeah. If you're used to coffee, then yeah.
Yeah. But I do enjoy tea. It's always one of my favorite things to have. One of my favorite things to have, like, the rest of the time, so.
You have to do tea right. Like,
That's
can't
true.
do with the tea bags. I've learned that the hard way. You can't use the tea bags because they preserve the flavor inside. So you cut the tea bag and you put all your the ingredients that come with the tea bag in a strainer. You use the strainer as a tea bag, and you go in a circular motion while pressing with a spoon to release the flavor out inside in hot water while it's running at like medium temp.
I always prefer the French press for my tea.
That's good too.
Yeah.
So I remember we had a teacher in high school.
Yeah.
He was our history teacher. I forget his name. I don't know if you had him, but he had like long hair. It was like he was a tall dude. He had we had a Latin professor named Stringer.
Yes.
You know him.
Yes.
He had a quite
Senior Stringer.
Yeah, he had quite a rivalry with that professor. This teacher.
Oh no, this I was unaware of.
So this was fun. Like Stringer would come up and mess up his art and stuff, and he would get really upset.
Okay.
And they would do the same. They would have like prank wars, and I was really involved. But anyway, he had this like a tree, like a proper tea strain, like a press.
Yeah.
And all he would do was add the ingredient, put the water in, and then press 3 times, and then just drink straight out of that. It was like a press cup.
Okay.
And I always wanted stuff like that because that looks super cool.
Oh yeah, I feel that. Yeah. No, the only teachers I ever had like had a drink thing where I had a math teacher freshman year, who introduced me to the Arnold Palmers.
Oh, the tea.
Yeah, the half iced tea, half lemonade.
Yeah.
And then I had one teacher who all the students talked about. He seemed to have this like addiction or whatever to seltzer water.
Who was this person?
Mr. Saxon.
Yeah.
Who was known for like, so there were theories.
He was my secret dealer of seltzer.
Yes.
At some point.
Like he would take a drink and he would take a little sip. He would like raise the bottle to the air.
Yeah.
And people swore his eyes were bulging out of his head.
I get that.
And the other thing, he was very untrusting of a person. Because every time he left the room, like even in the middle of the class, to go to the bathroom or something, he'd bring his backpack with him. And so there's a theory, it's just full of seltzer.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to leave it with us.
He gave me 3 lemon cans. I said dealer, but he gave me 3 seltzer cans because I forgot him lunch once.
Yeah.
And he was just like, at 3 separate occasions, he was just like, do you want seltzer? And I was like, yes. And he would just give it to me because I was to hang out. Remember then when Andrew used to hang out in the, Andrew, a friend from Boston, used to hang out in the history halls? And he got in trouble once for like clogging the freaking bathroom.
I didn't realize that was one of them. I know he's got in trouble for quite a few things. I didn't realize that was one of them.
So he clogged the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think it was like a day before that the Saxon offered me seltzer.
Yeah.
But the day after, he like, for whatever he did, he like put a lot of tissue paper in there and just clogged the bathroom, and it like water flowed into like classes and stuff, and it was annoying. But yeah.
I know he got in trouble a few times. One of the bigger things I remember was he got drunk one day right before class.
Yeah, I remember that.
We would all hang out like in this mid part between the library and this what we refer to as the lower library.
Yeah.
Which didn't actually have books in it or shelvings.
Yeah.
Or anything that resembled a library. And he had this bottle of Dr. Pepper. And it was like, what is it, like whiskey or something in it? And he's like, who dares me to drink this whole thing before class? Like, I'm gonna chug it. And we're all like, no, you're an idiot. Stop. He's like, okay. Chugs it. I watched him. Now we have like our high school had these massive, oversized hallways.
Yeah.
That you could like 3 or 4 car lengths across.
Yeah.
With railings. I watch him. Our school was on a hill. I don't know why. Because of the marshland.
Yeah.
He's walking up this ramp, gripping onto the railing for dear life, holding himself up. He was so wasted. Trying to get to his homeroom. And then I got some weird text from him at lunch, something about Ebola. I had no idea what it was.
Ebola?
Yeah.
Oh, we had an Ebola outbreak in U.S. Well,
No, but this was like way after that.
Yeah, it happened after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was around the time when like they found a kid who was like immune to Ebola, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? And then that kid like ended up being like the key reason for a vaccine.
Right.
But it was around that time.
Yeah. But that was our friend Alex.
Andrew.
Sorry, yes, Andrew. Alex, Andrew, so on.
It's all good.
It started with an A.
I've been editing the episode, so I know the names.
Good. So one of us remembers something.
Yeah.
From that time period.
Andrew, Eric.
Yes.
And a couple other names. But we got them. I have in my head. Don't worry.
Right.
All right, let's switch back because it's throwing me off.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This
me off.
is weird being over here by the master controls over here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Usually I'm by the thing, like because it is what it is. Oh, yeah, it's just... You've deflated the thing.
Deflated nothing. This mic stand just won't stay up. It just fell to the ground, basically.
No, you just stretch it out, like, really far off.
No, yeah. Lost all attention. I'm gonna get another sip of this here coffee.
Yeah, you haven't been drinking. Oh.
Well, keep in mind,
You've been
Javesh here had just one thing of coffee, thermos, but I made 2 thermoses of coffee at the house and drank one on the way over here.
Yeah.
This is my second, so I'm obviously not sleeping tonight.
You'll sleep tonight.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like 4 in the morning, I'll start to feel sleepy. But there's been times during COVID where not for using because of coffee or anything, I genuinely wasn't. I started falling asleep around the time there's a little bit of light in my window, and I could hear birds.
But that's like super late. But you're used to that, so you're a master of staying up. Like, cause you're like really good at staying up through the night. I'm not.
I am okay at it. I used to be a lot better, and then sometime around college, after freshman year of college, I couldn't do it anymore. Like around 4 a.m, I'd crash.
Yeah, because
like I could stay up, but also be in my bed and still stay up.
Yeah.
And now I have to be somewhere else, otherwise I will crash.
Yeah.
I
Because
just can't do it.
that's because we're growing older, and our bodies are probably getting less energy.
Of course.
Well, we're just making same energy, but our bodies are bigger. So like I am getting like a little bit fatter, so that's starting to show effect. And now I like last night I didn't get proper sleep.
Of course.
But like usually if I try to stay up 3 o'clock, it kicks in. I crash like hard.
Yeah.
That's 3. You were like, at least you can go up to 4 and 5.
That's true. Although sometimes I will go to sleep on a decent time,
Uh-huh.
but I'll wake up in the middle of the night. And if I wake up in the middle of the night, and even if I just go to the bathroom, doesn't matter how tired I am, I will go to the kitchen and make a bowl of cereal. Have said bowl of cereal and go back to bed. If I wake up in the middle of the night, it's just going to happen. Not sure why, but it's something I do for whatever reason. I'll do that. Because why not?
I mean, cereal's good.
Yeah.
Just good. Cereal's always been like my go-to thing. I don't eat it as much as I want to these days.
Yeah.
I eat like oatmeal because I need to for acid.
I could never get behind oatmeal. It just wasn't my thing.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
It is horrible. I have to like force it down my throat.
Yeah. I mean, I get adding other things to it. It's just not my thing. I know like other breakfast foods like on the go, yogurt. For me, it has to be Greek yogurt.
Yes.
It has, but I always like that dryness to yogurt is always good. Yeah. So.
It depends on what kind of yogurt. I've been doing low fat because
I do like was it like 5% low fat or something?
Yeah.
Because that's that good. Because to me, because there's 0, 5, and there's like a 2.
Yeah.
0's okay.
It has the creaminess to it.
Yeah, which I don't really like. I want it dry, which 5% is good at. And I found this weird thing because it's happened enough where 2% is dry, but not on the first go. You have a little bit of it, of the container, or you open it.
Yeah.
And then the second time you go back to it, it dries out because it's liquid. The 5% I feel like is a good mix of being dry, like the dryness I like in Greek yogurt.
Okay.
But I can never be one of those people who have fruit in their yogurt.
Yeah.
I just can't stand the different, like randomly finding a different texture in my yogurt.
Banana is good. Like if you're a banana guy, there you go. Let me put this up because the handles are throwing me off.
Devesh is fixing his chair for those who can't see.
It's actually
Which is all of
it's
you.
actually worse than you think because it's like whatever happened to this chair today is leaning.
Yeah.
But anyway, banana is really good. I love banana in my yogurt just because it's like slimy consistency. So it's good for bacteria down here.
That's something I like bananas. Okay, I do, but it's also one of those things where if it's very simple, where someone will hand it to me, sure, and I like them, I don't make any effort to have them. I don't make a point of buying them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, everyone has a go-to fruit. And banana is my go-to fruit.
I'd say my go-to fruit has probably grapes.
Grapes.
Grapes are good.
Any kind of berries.
I'm not that big a fan of berries.
Yeah.
Like berry things, like flavoring is good. But grapes, apple, either apple or pear, cut it up, and then with like
salt,
cheddar cheese.
Cheese?
With cheese.
Okay.
With you cut, get yourself a block of cheese. You cut that up with the pear and the apple.
Okay.
It's genuinely really good.
Okay. I gotta try this.
But you gotta find that right mix. Yeah.
I usually put salt on it. I like savory stuff. Yeah. So
I mean,
most people put sugar in yogurt. That's good. Like
I don't do anything with my yogurt. I just as is good.
It's a thing. Like people like Fruit Loops yogurt and stuff like that put sugar in it, right?
Why?
I don't know.
Same crew that puts sugar in their cereal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
People, but I'm just moving my mic. That's what you're hearing, everyone. Yeah. But for some odd reason, if I'm craving a savory yogurt, I just put some salt in it.
Okay.
And honestly, it tastes better than you think. Well, you just have to control the salt. You can't make it too salty. Okay. But if you put like enough to upgrade that flavor, it's really good. And if you want that kind of tinge to it, you add some like red pepper.
Oh, not a tinge, tang.
Tang. Sorry,
Yeah.
tang. If you want the tang to it, then you add the red pepper, and it kind
Okay.
of makes it kind of spicy.
Alright.
You can even make yogurt,
Yeah.
jalapeno yogurt, and that makes it even better because it's less spicy in there.
I've never had jalapeno yogurt. I will say, for me, Greek yogurt tends to be savory enough. Because we did talk about coffee. For whatever reason, in college, one time we was like, I won't make it. I'm not going to give circumstances. I just did this for whatever reason. Because we had a salad bar. I took a jalapeno and I put it in my cappuccino. Because, I don't know, I was curious about spicy cappuccinos. It was good.
Okay.
I'm being honest. Just
Sounds
a
good,
single
though.
jalapeno in my floating in my cappuccino. Just kind of give it a little bit of spice. It wasn't that bad.
I mean, with spicy coffee is a thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Never really found it like spicy coffee anywhere particularly, but I haven't gone looking either. So.
yeah, you have to it's like a specialty stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like cat poop coffee, or you're talking to me about go poop coffee, like
Yes.
or go with stomach coffee.
Yeah.
Like that's a specialty coffee that's probably expensive, and you have to like go search and buy it. I have had cat poop coffee.
Yes.
It's only a little bit
Wait, cat or goat?
cat poop.
Now that I've not heard of.
You haven't heard of cat poop coffee?
No,
Look
cat
it
poop
up.
coffee. Okay.
Cat poop coffee. All right, we're looking it up, everyone.
All right. Well, he looks that up. There's something I want to say about coffee, particularly coffee when you have it in a mug. And I don't know if this is for other people. For me, something about a cup of coffee, whether it's a mug, thermos, really anything. We're just having a cup of coffee in the beginning of the day, or anywhere. Just walking into like your place of work with a cup of coffee. It's this small little thing where like I have my coffee, and at least that is the one thing today I had control over, and it's good.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
for me, like that's my thing. I feel a sense of empowerment with my coffee. It's like this is mine, and it was something that went well today, and that's my little bit of joy right there.
Okay. So there's now, if I'm getting this right, there's specialty cat poop coffee. There's different kinds of cat poop coffee. Like
Okay.
you have to go research into this. But there's something called civet coffee, which is
Yes.
from civets, I'm assuming. Then there's generic cat poop coffee, which apparently doesn't taste that good, so they select the civets. And now there's a Kopi Luwak, aka cat poop coffee. There's different names, but
Now I know we talk about the animal poop coffees. However, I know there's an issue of it's not good on the animals,
no, it's not. Well, because
and it's been an issue. Genuinely,
they just can't
issue-
digest the coffee beans.
yeah.
So it just comes out of poop, but that just means less food they get for the day. So they stay hungrier. But I'm looking at different kinds of cat poop coffees around. Well, not just animal poop coffees around.
Of course.
Civets are usually pretty good. Luwaks are pretty famous out there. I think Luwaks and civets are the same bloody thing. But then there was Peruvian poop coffee. Peruvian coffee. I'm assuming from Peruvian cats.
I really am curious for the backstory of like why we have coffee that was pooped out of animals.
Oh, there's monkey coffee.
And did we try this with other animals that didn't work, or did we ever try this with other foods?
Tried human poop coffee. Oh God.
I'd rather not. I don't think it wouldn't work for us though because we digest that stuff.
No, we don't. We can't digest coffee beans.
Oh, never mind.
We can digest like chewed up coffee. Like it's like same for corn, right? Like we can't digest corn properly.
Okay, right, of course.
Like because it's hard stuff. It's like swallowing a candy whole. Like acid will do its best to kind of break away, but it depends on what kind of bean it is. I'm not quite sure. I have to look this up.
Of course.
Citations needed, everyone.
Yes.
I am not an
It should be
expert.
noticed neither one of us are experts.
Yes, I'm just trying to apply my logic to this thing.
Right.
Can't this go away? Why?
Are you stuck?
National Geographic. I don't want to read like.
All right, Devesh is having issue with pop-up ads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if it was my laptop, I have ad block.
Well.
Jesus, there's monkey coffee.
Of course.
If I look down, it's not working. It's
All
over.
right.
It's over.
Okay.
It's over.
All right. Well, as we've established, there are various types of coffees.
Yeah.
Where the bean has been, I don't know, gone through the digestive tract of animals.
Yeah.
So, if you can afford it, try that, and maybe it's good.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about how to make different kinds of coffees?
At some point, yes. I think for this moment, like we've talked a lot about coffee today.
Okay, we'll talk about it
should
as
come
we
back.
progress into coffee world.
Yes.
We'll try each and different kind of coffee. Like, whatever day we're making the coffee of,
Yeah.
I'll talk about it.
Right,
But
we'll
what I
do
need
a little
to
backstory to
what
it.
I need to give you is I need to gift you a Chemex so we
Yes.
can use it at your house. Because Chemex and pour over coffee is pretty good.
Well, the holidays are right around the corner, so feel free.
I know. I need to get my paycheck though.
Yes.
Which is next week, coincidentally.
We need money.
Yeah, that seems to be a constant issue, especially for a college student like me.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's move on from coffee.
Okay.
So
So I think last podcast we were about to talk about your anxiety attack,
oh yeah. You mentioned it at the very end.
Yes.
So
and I believe you owe a story.
well, you have to tell your part of it, and I'll tell my part of it
Oh.
because I don't remember too much.
Okay.
Because I was really high off my tail.
That's true. I can give details as to watching you. That was
Yeah, because
that
you
was
were
disturbing.
in your mindset, and I
I was clear-headed.
Yeah.
We'll both say that.
yeah, I had lost it. Like,
Yeah.
I was panicking. So this was the night. This was like a time when I first hung out with like
Our other friend.
our other friend
The
Nick.
Fuzz.
Yeah, Fuzz. But I hung out with him like at his place.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a first time meeting, but it was
Right.
first time as his place.
Right. First time I hung out there.
And he lives by this like really beautiful mountain scenery. I'm just gonna turn down the
Yes.
music because it's being really annoying.
So for backstory on this friend,
Yeah.
our friend is actually we share the same name, Nick, but
Mm-hmm.
we've dubbed him the Fuzz for his
Fuzzy
beautiful afro that he
Yeah.
has. And as the rest said, he Fuzz lives right next to this quarry where I go up to have bonfires, stuff like that, which is great. And of course, our friend the Fuzz is I feel like you could argue he's a connoisseur of weed, pot,
Probably.
marijuana. So
Man, he
on.
talked about fusion like it was
Oh, yeah.
next deal. So probably.
But it should be noted, the Fuzz is not a pothead. He's respectful about it.
yeah.
Doesn't do it, inside, so doesn't have a room for smoking, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And he's genuinely peaceful about it. He'll take a few hits, and he's good, really.
Yeah.
So he's
Now-
not one to push, just because there is that distinction to make.
Oh.
He's not like our friend Andrew.
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, he didn't push me that night. I specifically
yeah.
asked for it.
right.
I did, and from my previous experiences from weed, I thought it would be really mild.
Of course.
And because previously I had smoked a bong out of a bong once or twice, and it wasn't like that big a deal. And I had a couple edibles
Right.
as friends given me, like cookies and like sometimes brownies.
Yes.
It wasn't like that big a deal. Thank you for those friends who offered it to me.
You'll hear about Devesh's experience with this time around. It should be noted that to this day, the Fuzz holds to the idea that it is Devesh's fault or lack of experience or whatever
Oh, it's completely my fault.
that this happened, because there was a time where Devesh was like, dude, you gotta ask him what he give me. This stuff is too
No,
strong.
by the way, I should mention it is not Fuzz's fault. It's not Nick's fault. It's no one's fault but mine because I did not anticipate the high that we would get from this kind of weed.
Of course.
And I should have had a brain about it, but I didn't, and I was just like, it's weed, I can do it. I was
Well,
just
we were drinking too, so.
that, and also the fact that I was feeling a little blue that night,
Yeah.
just because I was missing Kenzie, and that's a story for a different day.
Right.
But
It should be just an added thing to all this. The Fuzz and Devesh smoke. I don't smoke.
you don't. You do
At
like
the most, I'll
you'll take
take a hit off a joint at a fire, and that's
Yeah, like if someone's smoking, you take a hit, but that's a very rare case. You stick to alcohol.
yeah. For me, I had people who have done things one pot that I don't care for. I trust like the Fuzz and Devesh around it, of course, but I stick to alcohol because I know I know myself on alcohol and I can control it better. So,
And just for the record, if I were to do it in the future,
yeah,
I will be home and nowhere else.
yeah,
Cause I did it as home, and this was right before we were supposed to leave to get back home, and he was supposed to drive me back.
yes,
And which is the main reason why I freaked out, because I was like, how long is this high gonna last? Because I forgot that it would last most night.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I ended up getting to my bed even after like a long drive that you took me through, just to make sure like most of my high got off. I ended up puking blood that night.
That was quite the drive.
Yeah. So I puked blood because it was really like, so you get a cotton throat for people who don't smoke. There's something called cotton throat where your throat gets really dry, which is why people eat and like drink food and like basically they consume any sorts of food after smoking weed, just so their throat feels a little bit better. You know, any lubricated food, like sort of banana or like a glazed donut. But I didn't have any of that, and the whole night I've been puking. For, I think, how many times did I puke? Can you give a count? Like 7-8 times?
3 or 4, I think.
Are you serious? I think it was more. I'm counting like mini pukes as well.
I don't know how to count it. So the other thing was you were refusing to let me stop the car.
Yes.
For you to even get out.
Yeah.
So the whole car ride home, keep in mind, this is an hour ride home. Not on the actual highway, but like through like a back road area through the woods where it's kind of like 40, 45 zones. And most of the time, we're not stopped. I think you let me stop once actually for you to throw up.
Yeah, properly.
But most of the time, I'm slowing down a little, but he's just puking, hurling out the side of the car.
Yeah.
And we got back, and he painted the side of my car.
I think I said that in the car. I was like, dude, I'm painting your car.
I had to take it off with a power washer.
Yeah.
And I know I got from other people, you really shouldn't use a power washer on your car. Don't worry, I did it on lower settings and took safety precautions to not chip the paint off to head it off. From saying that already. But still, took a power washer. Devesh came by the next day or two to actually, I made him clean it off.
Yeah, by the way, next day was like, I'll tell that story because it was really rough.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go from the beginning. So here I am. We're about to leave. And Fuzz is like,
is he going to be okay?
What?
No, Fuzz was genuinely like,
no,
is Devesh going to be okay?
Before that.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
So before we even smoked,
he
was like about to go smoke, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go smoke. And I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, maybe I should smoke a little, just to relax myself.
Yeah.
And he didn't offer. He was like, I'm going. And I was like, do you mind if I smoke? Because I asked him, and he was like, yeah, sure, you can take a hit. And now he had this like really powerful like fusion vape or fusion bong, which really makes the weed hit harder. And his weed was like quality weed. And I looked into it. It was like really powerful weed. So here I am, took a hit.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I'm only going to be able to take a half, but I didn't want it to go to waste. So I was like, just take the whole fucking hit. Who cares?
Right.
So I takes this massive hit and I'm like, oh crap, this is going to not go good because I have to go back. And then it starts hitting me like quick, like mega quick.
Yeah.
Like the moment I step inside, it's happening. Like I start feeling tingly all over my body and I start freaking out. I'm like, shit, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. I think I did too much. And I hadn't done too much. I've done worse, but I've forgotten about all that because it was long before. It was like a year or two before. So I start panicking and I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do?
Right. I remember you were clinging to the chair because you thought you were going to fall over.
Yeah.
At one point you were freaking out because you didn't want to stand up because you didn't think you could.
Yeah.
Anymore.
So I start losing sensibility in my hands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And on my legs. And I was like, I am really going far beyond. And then at this point I started screaming and you guys were telling me to stop screaming.
Yeah.
Because I had lost the sense of hearing properly and it was like getting bad. And Fuzz had made me, because I was like, how do I get rid of this? And Fuzz was like, just put your hand in like cold water or something. Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was going to be like a miracle drug where it was just going to make my high go off really fast. Yeah. But it didn't. And I'm dumb. So I put my fingers in the cold water for like 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And I'm like, this is not happening. I'm like freaking out. I'm really yelling in the house. Yeah. And you two made the good decision. I think he took you in the next room and he was like, just get him home safely. Like he was like,
I think, but you were so paranoid to the point, from the decision to take you home to getting you in the car was a good 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. Trying to calming you down enough to get in the car. And there was a point you were like strapped on, like seatbelt and like holding on to the handlebar. Because you couldn't take it for whatever reason.
Yeah, so you know how when you like have a seizure and your muscles kind of tighten up? It was that, but with a panic attack, and it wasn't a seizure because I've made a fight. But the fact was, I was straining my body just to like try to like stay in control of my body because that's what it was. I think Fuzz even said like, do you always try to be in control of things? And I do, and that is my thing.
Yeah.
Because I hate losing control of my mind. Something I've been dealing with lately. Yeah. And I've been getting better with it. Like now I'm like, I do a little bit of CBD and I'm like, let go. Right. Let go. It's fine. You'll be okay. Yeah. And I've been getting a little better with it. But at that time, for whatever reason, I wasn't good at it. So here I am having like a massive panic attack. You guys end up getting me in the car somehow after 30 minutes. You don't have to say this, but what did Fuss say when he took you in another room?
I'll be honest, it was so long ago, I don't remember. Okay. It was probably something like, okay, we need to calm him down. That guy is fucked up. Yeah. They're high as shit or something like that. Yeah. I don't remember the exact what it was. The most what I remember of that night is you freaking out on the kitchen chair and vomiting out the side of my car. Thank you for that. So that is what I remember from that night. I also remember prior to this, a very detailed discussion about the time travel problems in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, we were discussing that quite intensely.
Yes.
And I'm a loud guy.
Oh yeah.
So even normally speaking, I'm very loud.
True.
So I had no sense of control of my voice, and even that night I was speaking a little bit louder because prior to the night we had to collect wood for the fire, and we had to go in these really dark areas into the woods, like down in the quarry. Right. And that made me kind of freak out a little bit because I was like, how the hell am I gonna? So I was yelling into the woods just to keep in contact with you guys. And that was like the first start because I was like a little bit jumped because of that.
Right.
And then because I had time to think about what made me kind of panic. Secondly, it was my thought that how the hell am I gonna get in my house being this high?
Right.
Like, am I gonna have ability to walk? And when I got home, you wouldn't offer to walk me inside my house, but I was like, no, that's gonna be. You did
walk in. Okay.
I was like, that's gonna be super suspicious. I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah. I watched you walk in.
Yeah, and he did watch me walk in all the way in, and then that was really nice of you. But
of course, that's something I always did with my friends.
So. Yeah, and I've started to do that with you because like once I'm in your driveway, I just wait there till you actually like fully go in.
Yeah, once you see the person you're dropping off actually get into the house, then you're okay to get in, just in case something is wrong, and you should be there just in case. So it's always a good thing to do for someone.
But you guys managed to get me in the car.
Yeah,
and I'm like at this point talking really loud.
Oh yeah,
I do remember that.
But what's it? Halfway
I think
trip when you finished vomiting, you started falling asleep.
Yeah,
so I went into my place and found like really soft music to try to lull you or whatever. And I was trying to avoid potholes and shit.
Before we left, Fuzz was like, it was like a little bit jumpy because he was like, because I was gonna get caught like being high or something. And I remember him telling me, don't tell anyone shit as we left. And I was like, oh my God, what? What are you telling me? And then I was like, yeah, sure, I won't. And then we drove. And I think driving is what made me sick a little. Because just the motion of.
It's a very windy road from here to there. So
yeah. And then I remember a little bit, like I remember trying to gain enough consciousness to remember the road. And I do a little bit. But I did fall asleep. After the first throw up, I fell asleep, and then I woke back up because I was feeling sick.
Yeah.
Threw back up outside the window, and this time I threw up a little.
Yeah.
And I can't talk about it because it's making me a little gooey.
Right.
Like makes me dry heave. But I threw up a little bit in your car, and then I held it most of my mouth down the window, and then splurted out the window.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, it was. So much vomit.
I don't know why in my head on that ride home, I didn't think like you got it on the car outside. And then I looked at it, and once I dropped you off, I parked my car, I come around to look at it, and it is like, so keep in mind the time it's a minivan. Or no, was it? No.
It was CRV.
It was a CRV, right.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it like, it is way, like almost to the trunk of the car.
Oh, and I remember even telling you in the car, I'm like, dude, I'm painting a car. Mostly because and I have a memory of this because every time I puked, I slurred my mouth on it because I didn't have enough. I'm doing it right now. That's why you guys are hearing the voice difference. But I put my mouth kind of on the edge, just to rest it because my neck was hurting.
Of course.
And I every time I did, I just went like instead of going.
Right.
And I can't even think about it because I'm gonna dry heave.
Yeah.
But
At the time, I had I keep a trash bin in my car, a small one.
Yeah.
I have a mesh one still, and since then, and I know that was a while ago, I've been meaning to buy a new one so that in the future, whether it's whatever gets thrown in there, and particularly when my friends throw up, they have a place to throw up that's not out the window, unless of course we can pull over, which would be fine. But I am accommodating like that. Like I keep an extra charger in the car for my friends who have Androids.
Yeah.
Because I have an iPhone.
Well, you just do that for me because I'm the only one using Android.
No,
and
it's
Fuzz.
you and the Fuzz and a few other people. So
Yeah. But mostly me because me and Fuzz because we're the ones who's like mostly in the car.
That's true.
Android. And I don't think I need to charge because I've been getting good at like charging before I leave my house.
Yeah.
Not the iPad though. It's like 25 now.
I guess.
But
No, but I always I'm charging my phone constantly, so.
Yeah. You go with that. But I think where was I going with this? I had a thought in mind and I kind of lost it. I always do this. You good?
Maybe not.
You thinking about vomit or something? Or is it the heat?
Okay, I think I'm okay.
All right, if you need to take a minute, we can take a minute.
No, I'm good.
Okay. By the way, guys, it's like boilingly hot in this room right now.
Oh yeah,
But
really
he's
is
wearing a
hot.
hoodie. I took my hoodie off.
Yeah.
And he's still wearing his hoodie. So if you need to take the hoodie off,
Actually,
do that.
why don't you take over and I'm gonna go step outside to take this off, okay?
Okay, yeah, go do that. Go
All
there.
right.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, just we're gonna take a quick break. We'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we're back. Sorry, Nick needed to take a minute. It is boilingly hot in this room, and it's mostly because so much of the machinery is running. Like,
Yeah, it's been running all day, I think.
yeah, the soundboard is like getting really freaking hot. I'm assuming the computer's just generating heat. There's a lot of equipment running, like this huge power thing. The Furman is running.
Right.
That broadcasts stuff.
And of course, the two of us walk in here in hoodies and drinking coffee, so that's the perfect thing to do in a hot room.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And we're drinking hot coffee, incidentally, so that's making it worse.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, but it is boilingly hot, everyone. Like, not just in this room, in the next room. So we have a window that looks into the waiting room, and that's hot. And this room is worse. And I'm like 80% sure most of the heat is coming from this soundboard because if I touch it, like it's hot.
Yeah. There's still plenty of heat coming off of this thing, of the box underneath too. So
yeah,
I can feel my legs getting warm.
So this is a broadcast station for local radio.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lock on it now because I think we put one on just because broadcast regions, whatever.
Right.
We don't want people messing with that broadcaster. But this is where they upload it to TuneIn and stuff, and this is technically a Merrimack radio studio, so it is still really compact. Like, this is better than what we had before. Like, if we did this 2 years ago, it was like, this is all we had.
Just this room.
No, like we had a room downstairs, like on the first floor, but there were two recording rooms within this one studio room space. Oh, imagine a partition between here, a door where you are, and two recording rooms in between here.
You know, it's interesting. That's still bigger than our editing suites back at BCAT.
Yeah, it is, but still, like.
But for all this equipment, that's not a lot of space.
Yeah, well, it was separated, so there was 2 mics per recording studio.
Even still.
A soundboard, a Mac. We didn't have a Mac back then. We had a computer. Like, we had an older Mac.
Yeah.
And now we've just gotten really good at getting equipment because hashtag we begged for more money.
Right. So, needless to say, we have a quality setup here. So.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yes.
And I forgot to tell you, but the guy who was in charge, my friend Andrew,
Yes.
who he watches the show, and he was laughing when you said this table was not very well made.
Why is that?
No, it was just really funny to him.
I mean, am I wrong though?
No, you're not wrong. We have problems with this table, but it was just like custom made, and like that was the first comment you said, and he was just like telling me, he's like, that's really funny. If you want to know what we're talking about, listen to the last episode.
Right.
Like, it's really funny.
Yes.
That's the first thing he mentions.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, because like right where I am, there's like, I don't know. So the table's like two different pieces, and if you like slide your hand across, you can feel like one piece is slouching lower than the other.
Yeah, there's a. So if you look under, there's like a little wooden bit just to elevate stuff. You won't be able to see it. I can see it from here, but that's the case. That's probably why it's just a little off. You sure you good to talk more about the vomit story?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we haven't got much left to talk about, but I mean, that was pretty much it. We just talked about. I mean, I vomited on the drive over. I basically didn't know that I had a panic attack till later in the year I had like a proper one. I had to go to hospital.
Yeah.
Remember, so most people won't know, and I don't think you won't know, but there was a triple E threat going around in Massachusetts,
Right.
especially in the North Andover area. And triple E is this mosquito virus that if you get sick with, there's like a 10% chance like you might die.
Yeah.
10% is quite a bit because coronavirus 2%, and look at how many people it's killed.
Right.
So, but the infectious rate was really low. But what freaked me out is I think that night of, I got a mosquito bite, and it freaked me the hell out.
Yeah, it did.
And my friend had to take me to ER, and I was like, crap. But I think that night I put it together, and I was like, that was a panic attack what I had in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I was freaking out.
Yeah. You really were. You weren't as fun as like was it when we were at Andrew's house with Eric, and you guys got high, and was around the porch, and Devesh is in the chair, he's smoking, he's doing the thing, and I decide I'm gonna mess with him. So I grab his chair, and I pull it back, so it's just in the back legs. That was Eric. Oh no, it was Eric?
Yeah, I didn't smoke at Andrew's house.
You? Okay.
No, I never
so,
smoked
it was
at Andrew's house.
It was our friend Eric. So I grab his chair and I pull it back, so it's just in the back legs.
Yeah.
And I go into his ear, I'm like, you're flying, you're flying, you're flying, you're flying, you're flying. And all of a sudden he is like gripping into the chair as tight as he can.
He goes, oh my God,
He's
stop.
like screaming. He's like, stop, stop, stop. So once I get to the point like he's been flying long enough, I take this chair and I slam it back down on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's all back on all fours. Yeah. And I just start yelling, you're falling, you're falling, you're falling, you're falling.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Freaking him out.
You evil.
Right, to tell some of the other stories of our friends. Our friend Andrew, he told us the story of the first time he did pod.
Yeah.
He was on a playground.
With
our other guy,
children's
guy Anthony. And I'm gonna I'm gonna get myself a little further from the mic for this. Yeah. And he told us he ended up that day so high, he was gripping onto the slide, shouting, "Help me, Anthony, help me. If I let go, I'll fly into space." Yeah.
That is amazing. What?
Yeah, that's what I remember. And then we had was it a story from our friend Roberto?
Yeah.
Who I guess tried to use a Cheeto or Cheetos to draw on the pavement like his chalk was one of his stories.
Oh,
so there's been some interesting getting high stories with our friends who I don't know. It's just weird. Not weird. It's entertaining. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear all these stories.
Yeah. But I will say this: I'm kind of glad you don't smoke, at least, because
not anymore.
Because I'll be honest. Like you, Andrew, Eric, you guys smoke, and you're quiet smokers.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Because like I like to talk. Okay. You won't hold conversation when you guys get high. Really.
No.
It's a struggle. Like unless I'm like prompting something.
Yeah.
You guys kind of like answer quickly and don't say much more.
Well, I need to be like, because I'm really distracted by all the crap is going around that I need to stay into it because that's my escape.
Yeah.
From the reality. But I haven't done weed in a long while. Like from that night, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And I think that was the exact year when I cold turkeyed.
Huh. Yeah.
And that added to the anxiety. But I used to smoke. Like, you know about this quite a bit, so we can talk about my smoking a little bit, and my mom's gonna just horrifically beat me to death.
Of course.
But I used to smoke like awfully. It was after like my girlfriend's death, and it was like a really tough time, and I just like didn't take it really well, so I caught to smoking for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what it caused me to like start smoking, but I did. And
then-
instead of like, I think at first I was using cigarettes.
Yeah. And then you switched to the vape.
Yeah, because I was doing
one
like
point.
2 packs a day kind of stuff.
Yikes.
And then I switched to a Juul,
Yeah.
which wasn't any healthier because I was doing a pod. So how much is a pod?
I
I'm
will.
looking it up.
I will say, as someone who was around him when he was on the Juul, it smells better than cigarettes, which is really the only upside. I think it's a little more public friendly, I guess you could say, because it actually smells like a sweeter smell to it compared to cigarettes, which just are just awful. Honestly,
I don't know.
can't stand the smell.
So I don't know how many cigarettes are in one pack,
Yeah.
but it was so one pod contains about 20 cigarettes worth of nicotine. And whatever, I went from doing 2 packs a day to like 2 packs like every 3 weeks.
Okay.
Well, like I don't know how many's in a cigarette packet.
I'm
how
gonna guess 24.
many cigs in a pack? 20. So
Oh.
I went from doing 2 packs a day to 1 pack every 3 weeks.
So that's better.
Yeah, that's better. But I did
still-
that for a year and a half. Well,
Yeah.
I think that was my entirety. So I did that for like almost a year.
Yeah.
Because my cigarette smoking days were quite small, and my friend was like, "Dude, that's gonna expensive. You just do this."
Yeah.
And I did that for a really long time, and my addiction was worse than like anything else because I think you remember more than most. Is
Yeah,
I
'cause I
used
know
to beg you to take me to.
Yeah, I would drive him to pick up pods. And I think there was a point you wanted me to hold on to your Juul for a little while to get you to off it a little while for a bit, and you couldn't make it whatever set number of days you wanted.
I
You were
think
begging for it back.
I gave it to you. Like, I think it was 2 days before I was just like, I need it back.
Yeah,
I think it was 1 day. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
It was 1 day, and I was like, I need
I'm
it
pretty
back.
sure I told
can't
you I
do
couldn't
this.
give it back to you right away too. So
Yeah, you did, and you did give it back to me. But this is how I went. So this is how I went cold turkey, and I went on and off a little bit. But
right.
I had after Juul, I had 2 other vapes, but
Yeah, but now you're officially off.
I'm
so.
officially off. But first time I was so sick of Juul because it made me feel so awful. Like I constantly was getting like sore throat. My soul felt icky. I had throat problems, cough problems. Changing the music was being weird. And I just threw it. So there's a pond out there
Yeah.
on the Merrimack campus, and I just chucked it into the pond.
Okay. So for anyone on the Merrimack campus, feel free to go try to fish that out. Get yourself a
Oh,
free,
it's gone.
free thing.
I think there's more diseases down there than this you can find. Like it's just layers and layers of like there's a thick 1-inch layer of like decayed things
Oh,
like moss, dead fish, stuff like that.
fascinating.
Yeah, it hasn't been cleaned in years. So don't ever go down there.
So you hear that, Merrimack staff? Get on that. Fix that. Clean it.
Don't watch it, guys.
Make it drinkable and swim worthy.
Oh God, no, please no. That pond is like people spit into that pond. I wouldn't like take a swim in it ever. But
So so what you're saying is it really needs work.
I don't think you don't go near that pond. Just like
Okay. Or do not go near the pond.
sit by it, but don't like go over and breathe into it deeply because you might get like some disease you haven't thought of. But no, I was walking my friend back.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a late night. We both been smoking all night, and,
course.
and she's actually a bisexual friend. And no, she's a gay friend.
Okay.
And she was like telling me about this girl she has a crush on. We like ended up watching Ghost Hunters that night and stuff like that. And because I couldn't watch it alone, I'm too much of a wimp. And so at that night, I was like, just go with me. And then we went to the pond. I'm like, can you just stand by here quickly? And then she did, and I just chucked the pond. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. And I just chucked it into the pond, and I was off it for months. But
Yeah.
that like, oh God, that
It fell free?
no,
No.
the first 3 weeks, I was dying.
Oh, God.
I had the sweats. My hearts were racing. I was basically a junkie wanting more drugs. I was like, I just need one more. and I even considered cigarettes again, but
God.
I didn't have money. I didn't have a job because I've been smoking for so long that I ran out basically all my money.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is it. This is how I stop. And I basically internally died over and over again to like quit. And I think it was like some point where I had another one and I smoked for a little bit, but then I got rid of it. And then I got another one.
Yeah.
Probably spent so much money on these things.
Oh, yeah.
I could have saved for a new computer faster. But and then I quit that again. Properly.
Right.
And now I don't do it anymore at all.
Yeah.
Smoke free.
I will say,
Except like CBD stuff, but that's like very rare now.
I'm glad you're off entirely, but there was a point I was glad you switched to the Juul or just regular vapes, because for me, I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. It makes me sick and I get a little nauseous. And I'll be honest, if you were to have to continue to smoke, it probably would have been a strain on our friendship. Like I'd still like, I know there's so much more to a person, but still, being around that for me is
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's just breathing in the nicotine smoke alone
So-
is just like too much.
So my mom, she has a younger brother and sister, and the three of them all used to smoke growing up. And one day my mom decided she was visiting with friends, and she decided, I'm gonna go cold turkey, because her and her sister my aunt have been talking about it for a long time. And my mom's like, visiting with her friends, right? You know, they get out of the car. She's like, I'm gonna have one less cigarette. She had it, smoked it, went inside the house with her friends, and that was the last cigarette she ever had in her life.
Damn, that sucks,
Went
man.
cold turkey. I will say, unfortunately, today my aunt and uncle are still heavy smokers. My aunt actually has a room in the house she smokes in. Still, I think.
I think you wanted me
What?
to get that family member a vape. Did I give it to you?
You did. I still have it. I've never actually given it to said family member.
Yeah. You should.
I should. I will
Because
say my uncle's gotten better about smoking less, but my aunt is still pretty heavy smoker.
so a thing about vapes is if you don't know people, and I say with a W because that's how my pronunciation is of
course.
vape.
It's all right.
But even if it's less nicotine, it feels like a lot, and then momentary high you get is better than anything you get from a cigarette. Because if you smoke a cigarette, you feel most likely burnt in your throat, but with the vape, you'll most likely just get the smoke without the burn, and you get the high. And I feel like a vape is more addicting than a cigarette. But that's nonetheless to say, like, they're both equally addicting, and I would say cigarettes are actually more dangerous than a vape.
Right.
So
But I think overall we'd say that the position of the show is
we do not condone smoking.
we cannot condone smoking. Well, vape and cigarettes. I think we're kind of more lax about weed, but
If you smoke
yeah,
and if you do that, that's fine. If you have made the decision to quit, we support
you.
Yeah, we gladly support you. And
Yes.
if you ever need help,
right.
there's no shame in asking for help. And trust me, I have myself thought about going to rehab, but I had a strong mental health. Like at the point where I started to quit, I'm basically where I am now.
Yeah.
And I had a stronger brain set, which made me basically, I went through a lot of pain to get through it. But if you feel like you can't go through that,
Yeah.
go to a rehab. There's no shame in going to rehab. You don't even have to tell anyone you ever went to a rehab.
Right.
But it makes a difference if you do something about it, right? If you're sick of smoking and you think you can't do anything about it, then take steps. And I think taking the steps and admitting you have a problem is the first steps to basically adulthood.
Yeah. To better health as well.
Yeah, better health as well.
Yeah.
But trust me, guys, we do not condone smoking. And if you smoke, that's fine. If you want to quit, that's great.
Yeah.
And if you want to,
Well, if you smoke, I'm not going to say that's fine. I think you should quit. And I understand that's a challenge and that's not an easy thing. You can't just say it and do it. But it's worth a try to better your life, to lengthen your existence.
well, I'm not gonna force someone to quit. You know what I mean?
Of course not. You
But-
can't. But
But I'm gonna say
Encouragement.
that. Well, the only reason I say is if you smoke is fine. If it's if you think you're doing a better job, that's up to
Yes.
your judgment.
of course.
But we're not saying smoke.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's a stupid decision.
Yeah.
Trust me, I understand that it's better to learn from experience than to heed someone's advice, but this is something you don't want to experience ever.
Yeah.
Drugs, any sorts of drugs that are addictive and have a higher influence over you than anything else is not something I advise at all.
Yeah. If you're someone who does pot, marijuana, I will say all things in moderation.
Yes.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, be respectful about it. Don't push it on people. If someone they're trying it for the first time and they trust you, do the right thing. Maybe don't get high with them the first time.
Yeah.
Just watch out for those people.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Don't get forced into it. But if you do want to try it, do it in a respectful and respectful manner and a space.
Yes.
Where you feel like you're going to be safe by the time you're high.
Yeah. Because I remember because I don't care to smoke. Not that like I haven't voted for it to be legal and stuff. But I remember back to high school, Ben and Dan, I always thought like they were a model of respectful smoking. And they told us like, if it's anybody, we're gonna offer you once. If we say no, that's it. We're not gonna offer again. And like they mentioned, like they do it in their house, like they in the house. I wouldn't suggest that, just an idea of like, wanting to smell up a room, but they do it in privacy, not out, making a mess of, wherever they go. And more or less, they're not trying to like mess up their lives, phones away, whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, do whatever have more freedoms, figure out how you trust yourself. But to me, they would seem like a good model of just being respectful about something that is for pleasure, for relaxation.
This is something that it's a really controversial topic, and I'll bring it up just for the sake of talking about it today.
Okay.
But something that really makes me like hate people and like kind of disappoint in humanity, I should say, is people use the whole smoking of weed negatively. Like I have a couple friends who have been sexually abused and basically raped. And that's a really sensitive topic, but they have been raped after being forced into smoking weed and stuff like that. And I should say I'm not gonna say who they are ever.
Of course.
Even we don't mention anyone's people's names unless they are comfortable with releasing. But especially for this topic and any topic releasing this sensitivity, we'll never say anyone's names at all, even fake ones. I'll just refer to as said friends. And I don't. Why? This is what makes me really disappointed in humanity. Why do you feel like you hate yourself enough to force someone into doing such acts? Yeah. That's a really shameful thing to do. And if you are not shamed after doing something like that, you are really messed up. You are a horrific, horrible person. And trust me, I will hate you more than you will hate yourself in your lifetime. And I don't know how a person doesn't hate themselves doing that kind of acts ever. And that's just a really horrible and terrible things that happen to people. And my friends, whoever they've experienced it, are now in the safe space. And I mean, I've helped them in my respectful way, but I'm so glad that they have reached out for getting right helps, and whoever has abused them have gotten justice in a proper legal manner. And which shows that legal system does work. I'm not saying it always does work, but it works in some senses, and it has worked in my friends'. And I am kind of proud of our legal system in that sense. I wish that our system worked more in such cases instead of hearsay and do. A lot of times people say that it's your word against someone else, right? And like I understand that, but it's also like you can see it in someone's eyes when they're telling you truth. And I think that aspect has become less and less in this day and age, because people are like, I gotta run it by the book. And it's just a really awful thing.
I feel like I'm walking a fine line on this one, because I don't disagree with anything you're saying. But our court of law is innocent until proven guilty. However, accusations should be taken seriously and investigated. I don't, however, think it should ruin people's lives like it does. Because, and that's not to say that people shouldn't be prosecuted. It's a matter of the fact that we make there's such a big splash when it comes out that someone has done something wrong. Or, well, I should say, has been accused of doing something wrong. If it's true, they should be prosecuted. If it's not, there's an issue in society where they don't make a big a deal in the news online about saying, hey, this person was cleared, and stop this narrative, because it doesn't happen. And people who have been, cleared, found to, like, things are found to be false.
Yeah.
It still sticks with them, and they don't get their spots back, and people just like still think of them as bad blood, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
But when people come out, like, if they have the bravery to, like, actually tell you what happened, believe them, follow through, help them.
Yeah.
Don't just leave them there.
The worst thing in this world is that people, when they do try to act brave and tell their side of the story, most people just write it up as either they're making it up or they don't take enough interest to investigate it far enough. And first of all, that's horribly shameful.
Yes.
But secondly, I think I kind of lost the words for this, but because this is a really sensitive topic, and I don't want to say something that's out of line.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, if you are brave enough to say something out there, right? And if people do try to investigate it, right? And if they make you feel uncomfortable, speak out, please. Okay? I understand that my friends have tried to be brave after my support and their families and their friends, and it's tough.
Yeah.
And I understand that whoever's investigating wants to get as much, information as possible.
Of course.
But if telling that information makes you feel uncomfortable, let them know.
Yeah.
Please, because everyone has feelings. Everyone has their, a touchy subject that they don't want to talk about, and this is a very important one.
Yeah. And of course, for anyone going through this stuff, it is never your fault.
Yes, it is never your fault. And don't feel obliged always, like, if you're not strong enough to get help, we understand. It's fine. Not everyone is, and that's understandable, but we hope that you try to.
Yes.
In a very, very heart-touching way. And you have our support, and you always will be. And if you want to reach out to us at any point to get any support, we will always support you. We'll always help you, no matter what and how the world goes out.
There are good people out there.
Yes.
Just a matter of finding them.
Yes. We're not saying we're good all the way, but we try to be the best people we can be in our lives.
Yeah.
As best as we can be.
Yes.
That was a really touchy subject, but I think something need to be said about there.
Yeah.
Just because the way weed has been used, and it's not just weed. There's other substances that get used, like the roofies and stuff like that. They get used on the world, and it's just shameful.
Right.
It's just shameful.
And it is.
Yeah.
I just want to note, though, so we're also not trying to vilify weed also. Because it does happen. But it's not the whole, it's
not the only.
It's a part, it's not the whole.
Yeah, it's not
the issue.
Weed is not, like, entirely used for this.
Yes.
But it is something that people do with it, and it is shameful. And I am disappointed in that part of humanity that something that can be used to relax yourself in a positive manner gets used in such a negative way to not just hurt other people, but gets hurt hurt the substance itself.
Right.
And that in doing that, it damages not only the people who are hurt by it and in the actions, but also the people who try to use it in a positive manner.
Yeah.
And there's no other better things to be said about it. I mean, this is why this is a controversial subject.
Yes.
And it's really tough to talk about it, just because we're trying to enforce as raw and authentic side as possible. But as we said, we neither say weed is wrong, neither we say we support weed.
It's not about weed being wrong. It's about how you use it.
Yes, well said. That is well said. We'll leave it there
Okay.
because I don't want to go too much into this because it is a sensitive topic.
Yes.
and
also I don't know how we change topics.
we're
this, really.
not experts.
No, we're not.
Yeah, so we don't want to.
We can give an opinion as best we can, and then
Yes.
see if you relate. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, but use it. Here's a good advice. Use it in a very respectful manner.
Yes.
And there you go. We'll leave it there. We'll leave that topic there because we don't want to go too deep into it as the song ends beautifully into a very next topic.
Yeah.
Let's try to wrap it up because it's an hour and 20 minutes and we'll talk about a couple last things and then we'll try to wrap it up. How about that?
All right.
Because we're getting to our time limit.
Yes, we
And
are.
we don't want to make this episode too longer.
Of course not.
Oh, man. We'll try to keep this an hour and a half as best as we can because we want to make them respectfully listenable size.
Yes.
Oh, man. How do we even change the topic from such a touchy subject? Whew.
Yeah. I really don't. I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah.
But on the topic of changing topics, I've been in those discussions where you just, and this is our podcast is kind of like that, where you go down this rabbit hole of, say, you start talking about a show, and you end up, I don't even know where, the origins of the universe, talking about kinds of hot sauce,
Yeah.
your pet,
Yes.
Sasquatch, but you'll end up through so many places, and I know this happened to me in like groups. We get to some point like, how the hell did we get here? And we try to like backtrack and like how our thoughts got to where we were.
I think there's beauty in that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how conversations work out.
Yeah.
I think those are the best conversations. Like those are my favorite moments with people, is where you just start going down this rabbit hole of different topics, different things. Although I think what comes with that is I know during this time, there's like mini stories like I wanted to mention and I never got around to it because our topic changed or kept changing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean that's how the flow works. We don't always get to a story when we want it to, and we'll save it for next time.
oh yeah.
There's, trust me, lots of episodes to come. This is something that has been my dream and always will be, and hopefully Nick can permanently join me on this journey.
Oh, I think I will be.
Yeah, because this is a really lovely and fun thing to do.
Yes.
It's awesome.
And as much as we want to do a coffee segment, maybe we won't talk about it so much next time.
Yes, because we'll gradually go into espressos.
Like, more in detail, less length.
Yeah, because we have a 30-minute segment until we got into talking about coffee, and it's really interesting. And all for the people who don't know how intricate coffee is.
Yes, for tea lovers, we apologize though.
Yeah. We'll get into tea. Trust me, we will get into tea.
Yes,
I love
health
tea.
benefits as well.
Yes, I love tea. I know a lot about tea, and I want to introduce Nick into the extreme worlds of tea. Because I think you've been wanting to smoke tea in a safe manner.
Got a pipe about an old fashioned kind of pipe, about like 2-3 years ago now. And I still haven't found the right consistency leaf of tea leaves to smoke it with. So,
and I've been doing a lot of research about that.
Yeah.
So how about this next time with talking about espresso, we'll do a tea segment.
Yes.
And we'll talk in depth about what kinds of tea we're gonna drink,
or smoke,
bit of both, double-edged sword.
All right. It should be noted that in my research, smoking tea does have the same health concerns as just smoking.
Yeah.
With regards to smoking your lungs. So
yeah, and we'll address all the health concerns with that. I mean, there's very less health concerns.
Yes.
Because there's less to know. Not a lot of people smoke tea, but
of course not.
But
actually, actors tend to, because tea cigarettes are used as props.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes CBD, just to relieve the tension they have or stage fright they have.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if it works, it works.
Oh yeah.
But has its own benefits.
Of course.
But I think we should leave it there because been a long enough episode. And next time, talk about tea, a little bit of espresso, and whatever else that Nick wanted to talk about. Yeah. Because I've been kind of driving these episodes a little bit, and I want Nick to drive an episode fully. So
course.
Next time I'll be in his chair and he can run the whole show, and I'll show him all the roundabouts of how to do this, and
All right.
I'll show him now and he can do it next time.
Yeah.
So until then, everyone, thank you for listening in. Thank you, Nick, for coming.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we'll make you
For the coffee.
We'll make you a permanent host
Of course.
of this show. I have to go through proper channels and make it on Anchor and stuff like that.
Yeah, on our platforms.
Yes, but thanks to Anchor for letting us post this lovely podcast. Who's a sponsor for today? If you heard the ad, and will be hopefully future sponsor. Keep sponsoring Anchor. I love you. But anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. It's getting 11:11 here. It's the perfect time for us to stop recording and drive back so we can get asleep because I have a test tomorrow.
Yes, you do.
All right, thank you, everyone. Wherever you are, hopefully it's a night. Then good night.
Good night, or good morning, or good day.
Good evening, whatever it is.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.